I'm telling you, there's something about
My
the lights.
smile, I can't believe how bright my smile was. That's funny.
Yeah, that's a good one. And I'm all crazy over there.
Yeah. I wish we could combine those two.
Well, these are good.
That's a good one,
too.
yeah.
Okay, we'll be another minute.
Okay.
All right, so what do I have in it? Oh, that's right, because you're in front of me. I don't need to have a earphone on.
Yeah. Yeah, my earphone kept falling out of my ear.
I saw the red things. Were those your...
Yeah, it's my earbuds.
Oh, it's your earbuds. All right, you need new earbuds. But
Well, these are new earbuds, but the thing is too big and it falls out of my ear.
So I'm just looking at you. We're just having a conversation.
Yeah.
I don't need to focus on
So
cameras
I'll
or
look at the
anything.
camera to start the show,
Yeah.
but then I'm talking to you.
Okay, so
Don't
I
even-
got to space out while you're talking.
Yeah, if you look at the camera, it looks weird.
Yeah, all right.
Like if I really want to make a point to listen, you guys really need to pay attention. Then
Right.
I can do that, but
Yeah.
I rarely do.
Okay, and it's going to be that camera 3 right there. Is that?
Well, this one's got my face, that one's got your face,
Oh,
and this
alright.
one's got both of us.
All right, this is cool. This is interesting.
Yeah.
So thanks for the invite.
You're welcome.
Yeah, it's interesting.
I know you had something you wanted to do, but this is kind of rare, so.
Yeah, it was a picture with one of the businesses that I had connected with, and he was going to have the whole crew there. He's got like 80 employees, and then I was thinking, I'll go back there. Like, he's really cool. He was happy that I came and did the videos, but I want to go do like a workshop there for them or something. I mean, it's a restaurant, so they're not making a ton of money, but like maybe they're married to somebody that works and full-time job, and they need what I offer. So I'm also going to dinner with Mark Metry on Friday.
Really?
Did you see that
Mark
invite?
Metry.
Yeah.
How did that happen?
He put it out on Facebook. If you wanted to go to dinner with him, he's going to be in Boston. If anybody wanted to go to dinner with him, make a contribution to this suicide prevention website thing or organization.
Good for him.
And then he was going to accept like up to 10 people. I think there's only like 6 of us going. But
What night is it?
Friday, 6 o'clock in Boston at Legal Seafoods or Boston Legal Harborside.
I had him on the show about
Did you really?
about a year ago. It was
Yeah.
his first TV appearance, and now he's just really.
Really?
Well, he was already doing Human Beings 2.0 podcast.
Yeah.
And what happened was I saw him on LinkedIn. I was going through a prospecting phase of bringing people on the show. So the great thing about having that series for you, the Family Focus Fun, is you can reach out to people on LinkedIn, on Facebook, anywhere, and let them know, hey, would you like me to interview you on my series? Yes, I would.
Oh, that's awesome. Yeah,
Right?
yeah.
So you don't have to have a TV studio to do a series. You do it on Facebook Live.
Yeah.
Just pick a day that you always do it,
Yeah.
Tuesdays
Are we
or
all
Wednesdays
set?
or something. Yep.
Yeah.
Okay, wise
That's it.
You just move around.
Yeah.
It's all good.
Okay, here we go.
Hello and welcome to the Happiness Jungle TV show. I'm your guest host, CamiBaker.com, and today my very special guest is a friend of mine and a colleague and someone that I met at a networking event, about 6 months ago, and we hit it right off, and I started learning about all the things that Brett Larkin is passionate about and on purpose about, and I just wanted to share you with my people. Brett, tell our viewers a little bit about yourself.
Whoa, that's a very wide open question. What do you want to know?
Well, I know that you have a YouTube channel.
Yeah.
I know that you are all about self-love, and you got to love yourself before you can love anybody else. Talk about that a little bit.
So yeah, I started a self-improvement journey. Probably who knows? Let's see, a little shortly after 2007, maybe 2008, 2009, somewhere around there. I had been putting it off for a long time. My mom had been trying to get me into it. Put it off. Eventually got into reading my first self-improvement book. Blew my mind with how I.
Which one?
Change Your Mind and Your Life Will Follow. I believe the author is Karen Casey. I could relate to a lot of the stories that she told, and it was unbelievable, like just how it made me aware of how people interact with one another, what other human beings are like, and that she had some similar experiences that I had. And it was just very eye-opening. So that started my self-improvement journey, and it's been a long journey. I read lots of books, and also I tried 3 counselors to work on some things, and eventually my mom had always said, and I think, you probably agree that a lot of people say, in order to find that special significant other of your life, you need to love yourself first. And I was always like, whatever, I love myself, and but I didn't realize that I really did not like myself. And it was throughout this journey of reading all these books, listening to speakers, and then really eventually what happened, one of the probably the biggest thing that I did was I almost said I fell in love with myself, but how did I do that? That was the thing. My mom would tell me I had to love myself, but nobody, and I'd heard it over and over, but nobody ever explains, like, how do you do that? Actually, I'd heard some things where people said, write down all of your past accomplishments and all this sort of stuff. But so the big thing that I did, there was a lot of work involved in it, but the big thing that I did was really just write down a bunch of things that I liked about myself, not necessarily what my hobbies were or whatever, but just the traits that I had about myself. Like, I know I'm sincere, I know I'm genuine, I know I'm an honest person. I make myself laugh. I don't know if I make other people laugh, but I make myself laugh. So I wrote down this list, and I would also write down good deeds that I had done, like in that day or maybe even in the past. And I did that list for several weeks, and just reading that list over and over and over again and seeing it outside of myself was just incredibly powerful, and realizing, like, that person that was on that paper was a really awesome person, and just realizing that that person was me helped me get to a point of just really, I'm sure I still have a lot of work left to do, but just appreciating myself for.
I find it fascinating that your mother was wanting you to do that, because not everybody's on a self-development journey. Not everybody realizes, hey, you can actually put some concerted effort and intention in shifting who you are and how you show up. And I'd like to find out, what did your mother do to get her to the place where she wanted to encourage you? And then what was the thing that happened that you finally said, all right, Mom, I'm going to do this?
I don't know what my mother was doing. I don't know how much self-improvement she has done. She's an amazing woman. She's awesome. So what really happened, she was encouraging me to read that book, and I think she felt concerned. When is he going to find that special somebody, that whole deal? Like, I just wish he'd settle down and be normal like everybody else or whatever. But so then I joined a business that I can't really talk about. I became part of a business, and my mentor, who is the nicest human being I've ever met, just an incredible man. I eventually found out that he was reading at the time, about 2 personal development books a month. And I just immediately heard that story, and I went home to my mom as soon as I could after that and said, Mom, where's that book you've been trying to get me to read? So it was, that's part of, I could talk about my YouTube channel, but one of the messages that I like to share about my experiences is to listen to people that and trust and love, of course. So I just didn't listen to my mom, like a lot of us don't listen to our parents, but so.
Well, that's why I asked, because as a mother, my daughter's 20. God knows there are 1,000 books I would love for her to read, and she won't listen to me. And for me, I went through my alcoholism and my, just some really dark times that made me I needed to either fix myself or kill myself, one or the other. Yeah. And so that's why I got on my self-development journey. But I asked you about what was it that inspired you, because I'm like, what can I do for my daughter to help her to finally step into it? But you just, we all have our own path.
We have to take that journey, and fortunately, I just was open-minded enough to listen to somebody else that I trusted and admired and respected. Knowing now what I know now, I probably, I would like to believe that I'm going to be more open-minded to my mom if she suggests, one thing or another, whether towards it that would help me improve who I am. You know what I mean? So yeah.
So what are some of the books that you have read that have helped?
Wow. I guess I probably haven't watched or read too many, but I've definitely listened to a lot of Zig Ziglar. He's great. I don't think any of them are the end all be all. I think one of the books first one I listened to was a Tony Robbins book. I can't remember which one it was, but it was Tony Robbins, Zig Ziglar. Anything by Zig Ziglar is good.
Grant Cardone.
I've listened to Grant Cardone. He's not necessarily, I don't know if he's self-improvement, but he's definitely improvement for sure.
Yeah.
Man, I'm drawn up. Dale Carnegie's?
Yeah, for sure.
How to Win Friends and Influence People. That was a big one. And it's really weird, actually. My dad, I forgot about this. When my dad was out of work for a period or something, I found out that he had done some reading on self-improvement. He'd taken the Dale Carnegie courses and stuff. He never told me any of this stuff, which is funny because I probably wouldn't have listened to him if he did tell me about it. But even if he just told me in passing, I might have been intrigued, as opposed to him talking about you and your daughter. If he had told me I needed to do these things, I might not have done them. But if he just told me in passing, oh, I attended this, and then eventually I would have heard like, my Uncle Peter did it, and I might have heard somebody else did it, and then I might have started putting the pieces of the puzzle together. But if you told me to do it, I would have been like, whatever.
Well, in AA we call it attraction and not promotion.
Yeah.
Because people get sober and they want to run into the bar. I found a better way. Come with me.
Yeah.
There's better. You don't have to do. You're just trying to promote it. You're like,
Yeah.
But when you just all of a sudden, wow, you're clean and you've got a car and you've got a good job and you love yourself, and it's attraction.
Yeah.
It attracts people.
Yeah. So yeah, back to the books. I forgot about that. Sorry. But yeah, Dale Carnegie, How to Win Friends and Influence People. Cheesy title, I know, very cheesy title, but
it's perfect.
Again, I started reading it and I was like, wow, this is amazing. And a lot of stuff I'm like, yeah, of course, it's obvious. But back to my dad, when he was out of work, he had read a book on influence and influencing others. I don't know if it was on a negotiation or something along those lines, but I some point it clicked that, wow, I read, my dad, and I read some of that book. For whatever reason, I was intrigued by it because I think I knew I needed to improve, but like I wasn't fully on board with, that I don't know, whatever it was, that book wasn't the right book for me at that point in time. And another book that I read, it was called The Fear of Success. I was wondering if I had a fear of success, and I picked up this book, and I thought it was, his name's Jonathan Kislev. He is there's the countries in the Middle East, Jerusalem. He's from Jerusalem, I believe, and he spent some time in Canada. I don't know a lot about him, and I started reading that book. I thought it was horrible. I thought the way he wrote it was horrible. But I got to a point in that book where he told a story that was eerily similar to an event that had happened in my life when I was a kid. I literally almost was on the verge of tears. Tears in my eyes just brought back these memories, and I'm about to cry right now.
Powerful book.
Yeah, it was just, and as I'm reading, I'm like, this book is just so horribly written. I was like, just keep reading it, You might get a nugget out of this somewhere. And then it just, the story he told, I just started welling up with emotion. And then I think I had counseling later that day or that week, and I saw my counselor and I told my counselor the story, and then I went to my men's group and I told everybody there, and that helped me heal some wounds that really got me on getting over that tipping point, maybe, I think is possibly what happened with growing to love myself more. I did a lot of self-improvement, a lot of reading, and then just discovering those things that one incident that happened in my past was huge.
Being open is so important, and because of that, you are now married and happy, and so talk about how loving yourself led to loving someone else.
Yeah, I don't know if I wasn't quite there yet, for sure. I was definitely in a good point in my life. I think where I was in my life, I've always had, I said I had goals when I was always into hockey and trying to get the scholarship and all that. And I realize now that once that was gone, once I didn't get the scholarship, I played a little hockey in college, but wasn't what I thought it was going to be. And once I gave up on that, I really had no direction in my life. I just didn't know what I was passionate about, where I was going. And then when I met my wife, I was in the process of climbing the 48 4,000 footers in New Hampshire. So the mountains, many people I'm sure have heard of them, the 48 4,000 peaks, 48 peaks, 4,000 feet or higher. And I had a goal, and I started it just kind of, I don't want to say willy-nilly, but whatever. I'd climbed a couple of them, and then I found out about the list. And then eventually at some point I created my own list with the dates that I wanted to do them. So I had a purpose at that point in a way. I mean, it wasn't necessarily like I wasn't improving the world or anything like that, but I had a purpose. I had a goal, and had been doing some self-improvement up to that point in time. And so when I had that goal, I don't know, it was just really good timing with my wife and me just meeting, and so then after that I had a lot more work to do on myself after that.
I'm sure your wife has helped you with that.
What do you mean by that? She's definitely helped me for sure.
We sometimes want to fix our man, is all
Oh
I'm
no
trying
no
to
no
say.
no 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 no! She is very hands off. She's an independent woman. She's
for her.
very like you want to do work on yourself. Not like go for it like you need it, but yes, I'm all for.
Don't you need to go to one of those meetings tonight?
Right. Yeah. No. So all for it. All for becoming better. She did a lot of. I think she did a lot of. She went through a rough. I don't even know if I should share this, but she went through a lot before she met me. Let's put it that way,
Sure.
and went through a period of self-development, personal growth stuff, and so she's on board with that stuff.
Good for her that she found that. So, since we've got a little bit of fun time here on the show, let's talk about what your purpose has turned into, because you're a really family-focused, fun kind of guy.
Yeah, well, it's actually funny that how all this came about. I didn't realize this occurred to me recently that I had been I'm not really into the church or anything, but I do a little praying and asking for things. And I was asking to become a positive contributing member to the community in which I live. And then I don't know if I'd started that before I met you, but then whatever the case is, I'm now really involved in my town. I had been involved in my town, but I'm getting the idea that I can do a lot more now. And so I'm working on finding ways to raise money to send some kids to summer camp in my town. I realize there are kids that can't afford the camps. It's either their parent. I've learned that either their parents are absent, or there's a woman that I know who said she got a scholarship to send her kids to camp. If she wasn't able to send her kids to camp, she was going to have to quit her job basically because she didn't have the money to provide daycare.
Yeah.
So she's a caring. So it's like both ends of the spectrum. You got parents that want to send their kids to camp, but might not have the means to because maybe they're single parents or whatever. And so she got a scholarship, was able to send the kids to camp, and then she was able to go to work. On the other end of the spectrum, there are parents that are just completely absent from their kids' lives, not involved in their kids at all, and then those kids also would like to go to camp as well. So I've been involved in helping raise some funds to get those kids to camp so that they stay out of trouble and maybe have the ability to meet some other people and find some positive outlets. One of the things my dad always was big on was the idle hands of the devil's workshop or whatever. I think that's the phrase.
Yeah.
Which is why he always kept us in sports. And so again, there are kids that don't have those means to be in those activities, whether it's sports, music, dance, art lessons, or whatever.
And from what I know about you, you are partnering with other community leaders, police, fire, teachers, nurses, to help put these kids in camp. Talk about that a little bit.
Yeah, love working with civil servants because again, if these kids are actively involved, and they have activities, and they're not sitting around, doing nothing, wasting their time, they're less likely to be out in the streets causing trouble. Where I grew up in my town, there were kids that were lighting fires in my neighborhood,
Sure.
and so maybe they're less likely to be starting fires and vandalizing or causing trouble out there. So I love working with the police officers, firefighters, nurses, teachers. Those are just very caring people about the communities in which they work, and that's why I love working with them because there's just and there are of course other people that care about the community as well. Sure. But just as groups, those people are great people to work with to
Well, yeah, the firefighters don't want them setting fires. The police don't want to have to arrest them. The teachers know that they need something to do during the summer,
right.
and the nurses, they would rather that they not show up at the UER. So
exactly,
it's really a perfect group of people. So what are you doing with them to help send these kids to summer camp?
I just worked on an event where we were raising money. It was an event in my town, and there are ways that I can bring together businesses within the community and helping promote those businesses for their efforts, because most likely when people donate money or make a contribution, they don't really get much in the way of recognition. They get maybe a banner or their name on a banner, or they get their name mentioned. So I'm working with the businesses within the community in which I live, but I definitely want to branch out to other communities to bring some awareness to those businesses, to show people within the community what great things that they are doing to, it's going to be good for the business because that business will get some positive promotion. It'll be good for the community because maybe some more people will go there and buy some goods or services or whatever. That keeps more money within the economy, and that might be able to enable them to contribute more to our cause, or maybe some other cause that they're also passionate about. So I love working with the business owners as well, because I love it. It's been great, helping promote their business on Facebook, doing Facebook Lives with them, or I love even just taking pictures with them and showing the people that run those small businesses. Even if it's a big business, I went to a car dealership and made a business there, and they were helping the veterans this month actually. Seacoast Volkswagen in Greenland is, if somebody buys a car, they donate like $75 to Peace Greeters actually.
Nice.
Yeah, so I love helping promote the business. It's just to me, it's win-win-win across the board.
Well, and especially promoting businesses that do something around families and kids, because with Family Focused Fun, which is now a group that you have on Facebook, you're helping to promote camps, businesses that are family focused, events that are going on. Talk about that a little bit.
Yeah, so I love, it's been a lot of fun creating, this Family Focused Fun Facebook page to give parents a resource to go to find out about events that are going on within their community. And so I get to promote, those businesses that are hosting those events, maybe drawing some attention to them and maybe getting some people to them that hadn't gone there before. Also give parents a resource to go to if they don't know what to do. Like I honestly have found, like, what are we gonna do? We get the whole weekend free. There's nothing on the calendar. I got a 6-year-old, and I love doing stuff with her. And what's going on? Like sometimes I just completely draw a blank. Like there's some people that just get up and go. They know what to do, but I need some guidance, right? So I love being able to provide that guidance, whether it's just might be even sledding at Wagon Hill over in Durham, or the Halloween haunt like we just had in my town, or apple picking at some farm, or anything that's family related, where you can either go and make your own fun, or maybe even run into some people that who are also on the page as well.
Building community is so important.
Yeah,
you can have play dates and sleepovers and just all kinds of fun. When my daughter was growing up, I had split up with her father, so every other weekend was adult weekend and every other weekend was kid weekend.
Right.
So I almost had 2 weeks to plan to do something. When you've got your child full time, like I can imagine this. Like, what are we going to do now?
Yeah.
I feel like I'm the entertainment committee.
Yeah, and the other thing, it's the entertainment committee, and then there are just I think for a lot of families, there's a lot of costs involved to whatever event. So there are deals and things that people can share with one another. Like my daughter went to Ocean Camp at Odiorn Point in Rye, and we found out, I think it was November, that if you went to Ocean Camp and could prove that your kid went to Ocean Camp, the entire month at the Dover Children's Museum was free. So there's a means for not only me, but for other people to share, hey, just want to let everybody know that this is going on right now. Were you aware of this deal? Were you aware of this event or whatever? That's maybe there's a sale or something going on, or whatever, reduced prices or something too. And like I said, or just to share other ideas of, like I said earlier, sledding at Wagon Hill doesn't cost any money. What other fun events? There are so many amazing places in New Hampshire to go for a walk. That are safe places too, that don't necessarily cost any money. There's out in Great Island Common in what's the town? Newcastle. Beautiful place. Like it costs a little bit of money, like $7 or something, because it's a state park. I believe it's a state park, but it's beautiful. I'd never heard about it, right? And I've met people that were like, I've never heard about this place. So it's just a place, an arena, a place for people to go to share things, because they got a big green field, they've got a playground, they got bathrooms, and they got the beach.
I would love to see you do a Facebook Live like on every Wednesday or something, so people know on Wednesday, Brett's going to let us know what's going on this weekend for family fun.
That's a good idea.
Yeah.
I need to get it in my calendar to post something about, I generally will ask people what are they up to, so we got a multitude of events and things going on. But
you could create a series so that people know on Wednesday at 3 o'clock, Brett's going to let us know what we've got coming up this weekend, and you could actually interview the different places, whether it's the local dojo that's got free karate this weekend.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think about where are the kids at, because when my daughter was growing up, we did the dojo, we did the dance studio, we did the all the things that you're supposed to do.
Yeah.
She just never stuck with anything, so we did all kinds of stuff.
Yeah. But there are so many cool things to do. There's a great Seven Rivers Paddling in my town, man. They have unbelievable, I don't even know half of what they do, I'm pretty sure, but they do kayaking camps in the summer. They have a lot of great programs. So there's definitely a lot of cool stuff that goes on out there that's available for kids, whether it costs money or whether it doesn't cost money. But yeah, that's a great idea.
And you could put together something where when you interview them on Wednesday, if you tell the parents tell the business, hey, I saw you on the Facebook page, then they get 50% off or something like that.
Excellent idea. We should talk more about that later.
We'll talk more about that. So let's put the call out then. We've got about 4 minutes left on the show. What kind of businesses, who would you like to interview for your series? What do you want to teach your people about?
Great question. Anything that's, again, family friendly related, indoor play places, specifically coming into the winter. There's always like, what do we do? Bowling alleys. I love bowling. I don't know about you, but I love bowling. Anything, glow bowling, yeah, any of that stuff. Bowling places that have deals that we want to drive some, try to drive some business to help them out, and also again provide families. The Exeter Bowling Lanes is amazing. That guy, I forget the guy's name. That guy's awesome. Anyways,
great plug for him.
Yeah, I love that place.
The indoor rock climbing walls,
the putt,
the fun spot, up in Laconia is great.
Yeah, anything.
Movie night, Chunkies.
Yep,
Look at all these people that you can go interview.
Yeah. No, I can't think of anything off the top of my head really, other than just a business that's family related that caters to families. Well,
and you'd like to get introduced to people that run the different camps in New England.
Correct, yes. Yeah,
because, now that you're looking to put kids in camp in your town, little by little, you can add another town, and your whole Family Focus Fund can become a website and the YouTube channel and all that, where people know that they can come to find the camps, find scholarships, find events.
Great ideas, yes. I hadn't even thought of that. Yeah, of course. So yeah. So can I just plug one thing? Well,
sure.
What was the question you were going to ask?
No, go ahead. I was going to ask what's next for you, but plug.
I just wanted to mention also that the Mankind Project is a men's group that I'm a part of that has helped me a lot in my personal development. I just definitely think that our organization needs a lot more promotion and awareness. I don't know what the website is, just Google Mankind Project, and it's a big part of what has helped me grow to become who I am today. A bunch of incredible men showing up on a weekly basis to support one another emotionally.
Well, I appreciate you bringing up Mankind Project, because I'll give them a little bit of a plug too. About 4 years ago, I was in Costa Rica, and there was this beautiful couple in the pool. They were at this event with us, and they just were in love, and they were in sync, and they were in tune, and they were lovely to one another. And I said, where do I find a man like this? Yeah. And he mentioned Mankind Project, and he told me, about how they come together, as you mentioned, and they come together in a tribe, and they support each other and doing the right thing and treating women with respect, and animals and kids and the environment and all that. So Mankind Project has been a group that I've personally wanted to infiltrate. So so thank you for bringing it up, because more people do need to know about it.
Yeah, there are two circles that meet weekly. One's in. I forget the name of the town, but it's Northwood, I believe it is Northwood, and then I meet in Elliott, which is just over the border in Maine, and there aren't any in Nashua. There isn't one in Manchester, I just can't believe there isn't a group of men. Again, we come together to support each other emotionally, and just help each other show up in the world the way that we want to show up. And there's no one leader. We all take, like tonight or tomorrow night, I'm Circle and I'm leading the group tomorrow night, and we just show up the way, and we support each other and helping each other show up the way we want to show up.
Well, here we are at the end of the show, and I just want to mention that everyone can reach out to you for Mankind Project information, family-focused fun information, how to love yourself before you can love anyone else. You're just a wealth of information, and when I first met you, you have such a genuine, kind-hearted, you're just such a kind-hearted person, and it oozes from you, Brett, and I just really want to acknowledge you for that.
Thank you. I really appreciate that.
Yeah, you're welcome. Thanks for being on the show, and you know, as our fearless leader, Lyn-Dee Eldridge says, you know, it's a jungle out there, but we can still be happy. Thanks for coming on.
Yeah, thank you very much for having me.